Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to give you my MLB DraftKings picks for Thursday, July 27th. It's a Thursday, so we have a really small slate today, only a 5-game slate. Pitching is really weak today. You don't have really any stud options that you really feel good about, or any mid-range options that just really stand out as being must-plays. So I definitely think today for cash games, I don't think cash games are going to be something you want to play today. I definitely think today's slate is a GPP slate. Since there aren't really any standout options, kind of makes it hard to play cash games today. So if you're somebody that really plays cash games pretty much all the time, I would definitely take today off or look towards playing a little bit more GPPs today. Just definitely think it's going to be hard to construct a cash game lineup today that you do feel good about. So I'm going to be playing mostly GPPs today. I usually mostly play cash games, but just based on this slate, really like this slate for GPPs. But yeah, that's enough rambling. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so looking at pitcher today, you got two studs, two guys over 10K. Both of their matchups are less than ideal. You got John Lester at 11,900 pitching against the White Sox, a team that hits lefties very well. So I don't think Lester's a guy that I'm going to be playing today, especially not at that price tag. I don't want to pay that price for him, and not for this matchup either. So I'm off of Lester. Chris Archer, a guy that really interests me here. He's 11,100 against the Yankees. I don't like that salary much. But we know Archer does have good upside. He can definitely strike out 10 batters any game. But the Yankees aren't really a team that strikes out a lot versus righties. They haven't been hitting the ball as well lately as they got off to that really hot start to begin the year. But as of late, they definitely have cooled down. But I haven't taken a pitcher against the Yankees all year, and I don't think I'm going to start here. I love Archer as a pitcher, but pitching in Yankee Stadium today on the road, we know Archer does struggle on the road. An 11,100, if he was a little bit cheaper, I would definitely consider him, but at that price, I don't think it's likely that he really returns value today. He definitely carries a lot of risk as well. The Yankees just could absolutely blow him up. So I think I'm going to be off of Archer and Lester today. Not going to be paying up for my pitcher. Going to be looking towards the mid-range. I'll go ahead and tell you guys there aren't really a bunch of stud hitters that you just feel like you're going to jam in. So you're probably going to have to leave some salary on the table today. I built a lineup before I started recording, and I found myself leaving some salary on the table when constructing a lineup. So yeah, don't think you're going to have to use your full salary today. Just don't think it's really necessary, just with the pitching options. But the two guys that I like at the mid-range, the two guys that I do feel confident in, the first guy that I like today is Zack Godley, 8,400, getting a matchup against the Cardinals. I really like Godley today, pitching on the road in St. Louis. Godley pitches most of his games at home in Arizona in Chase Field, that nice hitter's park. But we're getting him on the road today in St. Louis, a nice park for pitchers. So I think Zack Godley is in a good spot here. If you look at Godley's splits this year, he does very well against righties, also does well against lefties as well. Righties are only hitting a 196 average versus Godley and a 244 WOBA. And if you look at strikeout rate, righties have struck out a ton, or Godley, he is striking out righties a ton. He has a 27.7% K rate versus right-handed hitters. And if you look at the Cardinals' projected lineup, their lineup, I believe they have 7 righties in their projected lineup. The only lefty, or the only 2 lefties they have in their lineup are Carpenter and Wong. That is their projected lineup, but only have 2 lefties in the projected lineup. So this is a good spot for Godley. Like I said, pitching in St. Louis is going to help him out a lot. That is a very pitcher-friendly park. The St. Louis team, they're just not a team you really have to fear. Don't have many powerful bats in that lineup. Dexter Fowler, he's on the DL, so he's out of that lineup. He's a guy you don't have to worry about anymore. Paul DeJong, a guy that does worry me here. That dude's been absolutely crushing the ball lately, and he is in the projected lineup, but I feel like Godley can still get through this lineup. Since he has done so well against righties, I do trust him here. So I like Zack Godley today as my SP1 at 8,400, and then my SP2 today. Going to be looking towards the value tier. A guy that really interests me today is Chris Flexen at 65. I guess that's how you say his name, Flexen. I don't really know. 6,500, getting a matchup against the Padres. This guy's making his first start as a major leaguer. He did get called up from Double-A. So he will be making his first start today against the Padres. And I was looking at this guy's profile. In the Double-A's, he had a nice K rate and a low walk rate as well, and batters weren't hitting him well either. In Double-A this year, he posted a 27.9% K rate and only a 3.9% walk rate. Batters weren't hitting him well at all either, only hitting a 163 average against Flexen. So he has pitched very well in Double-A this year. Now, if that will continue today against the Padres, I guess we'll have to see. But the Padres, even though they're going up against this guy that's making his first start, they still have a low total, only 4.3 runs. So I do like Chris Flexen here. He has shown strikeout ability in Double-A, and we know this Padres team strikes out a ton versus right-handed pitchers. They actually lead the league in K rate versus righties. They're striking out 25.4% of the time. So I do like Flexen to get some Ks here. There are just so many strikeouts up and down that Padres lineup. So I think Chris Flexen's in a good spot here. Making his first start, I expect him to pitch well. You know he's going to want to pitch well. With Zach Wheeler on the DL, Flexen will be making the start. So maybe if he's trying to keep a spot in that rotation, you know he's going to want to try and pitch well. So Chris Flexen, a guy that I like today, as my SP2, very, very cheap at just 6,500. I definitely think he has some upside here. He has shown strikeout ability in Double-A, so hopefully that will carry to today. We know this Padres teams, they do strike out a lot. So Chris Flexen, a guy that I'm going to be looking at today, as my SP2 at just 6,500. When you plug in Godley and Flexen as your two pitchers, that still leaves you over 4,300, close to 4,400 remaining per player. So we can pretty much jam in any bats we want when we go with these two pitchers. So the first guy I like, not actually going to be a stud, a value play I like at third base. A guy that stands out to me, has some of the best BVP on this slate, and that's Evan Longoria getting a matchup against CC Sabathia. Longoria, I feel like he's in a great spot here at just 3,900. Like I said, he has great BVP. If you look at the BVP versus CC, it's a huge sample size. Longoria has faced him 74 times, and in those 74 at-bats, Longo has 30 hits. 16 of those hits were extra base hits, and 7 of those hits were home runs. He's batting .405 versus Sabathia in 74 at-bats. So Longoria has the huge BVP going in his favor. CC has also been giving up a lot of hard contact to righties this year. 44% medium contact and 36.3% hard contact. So this is a really good spot for Longo. He has seen Sabathia very well in his career. So I think he's in a great spot here. He's very cheap at just 3,900. The Rays are also going to be getting a good park shift, going to New York, a nice ballpark for hitters. So I like Evan Longoria today. If you're looking for a value play at third base, he will probably be pretty chalky today since it's just a 5-game slate. But he definitely has upside here. So I like Longoria at third base value for 3,900. And then my final two plays are both going to be in the outfield. A guy I want to pay up for here, and then a mid-range play I like. So the first guy that I want to pay up for today, JD Martinez at 5,100, getting a matchup against Luke Weaver. I absolutely love JD today. He has really started to heat up as of late. I'm recording this video on Wednesday night, and JD, the Diamondbacks played an early game today, and I believe he hit 2 home runs today. So he's really starting to heat up, and he is in a great spot here to keep this home run streak going. Luke Weaver, over his career, has been a guy that has struggled against righties and will give up home runs to righties. 1.52 home run per 9 to right-handed hitters. He has also given up a lot of hard contact to righties, 48.5% medium contact and 31.8% hard contact. So this is a great spot for JD Martinez. We know this dude has crazy power. He's already had 17 home runs this year in a short amount of time. So JD Martinez, probably my favorite overall play on the slate. I'm going to be locking him in 5,100. And then my final play, mid-range play I like today, is going to be Christian Yelich at 4K, getting a matchup against Robert Stevenson. The Marlins, they're probably one of the best stacks on this slate. Robert Stevenson, he's just not good. I believe the Marlins have the highest total on this slate. 5.1 runs. I believe that's the highest on this slate. So you're going to want to get some exposure to that offense. If you just look at Stevenson's numbers this year, he has not done well. So far to righties, he's given up a 419 WOBA, and so far to lefties, a 430 WOBA. And he has also given up a ton of home runs, a 2.61 home run per 9 to lefties, and 2.75 to righties. Then hard contact, dude's getting absolutely crushed by lefties and righties. 31.3% medium contact to lefties, and 59.4% hard contact. So lefties has just been absolutely killing him. Righties also been hitting him very hard as well. 48.4% medium contact and 35.9% hard contact. So the Marlins are in a great spot here just as a team, especially their lefties. I really wish Justin Bour was playing today. He is on the DL, so he's not in the lineup. But D. Gordon, not really a power guy, so you can't really roster him. I guess you could roster him for speed. I believe Stevenson does struggle at holding on runners. Mesoraco, I don't think he throws out runners well at either. So I do like D. Gordon, but you got Yelich. He's a great play today. I like him, obviously. Dietrich, if you're looking for a low-owned tournament play, definitely consider him. But you can also roster the righties against this guy. He just hasn't fared well. So this whole team, great stack today. And I'm going to be looking to get to some exposure to their offense with Christian Yelich. Just 4K. The dude's been heating up as of late. Put up 30 DraftKings points in his last game. Not really a guy that's known for power, but he did hit a home run in his last game against Texas. So maybe he'll keep that streak going today. Stevenson is a guy that gives up a lot of home runs. So I think Christian Yelich, he's in a great spot here. And I like him at the mid-range at outfield for 4K. And yeah, guys, so these are my 5 plays for tonight. I went with Zack Godley, Chris Flexen, Evan Longoria, JD Martinez, and Christian Yelich. When you plug these 5 guys in your lineup, that still leaves you over 4,400 remaining per player. So you can pretty much play whoever you want. You can build a lineup around this 5. Just play whoever you want. Or if you want to get my full lineups, then be sure to follow me on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. My lineups are $5 a day, or you can get a weekly lineups for $25. So message me on Twitter if you are interested in that. Or if you just have any questions about the slate, you can also follow me on Twitter and message me on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed. If this is your first time on my channel, please be sure to subscribe. I do upload these videos pretty much every day, so I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. And if you never want to miss out on any videos, if you scroll down to where the subscribe button is, there is a bell icon. If you click that bell icon, that'll actually notify you every time I upload. So be sure to do that as well if you never want to miss out on any videos. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight, guys. Peace.